who's an under the radar player that you're really looking for to make a difference for each of your teams? Start with Zach and then go to Tony on that one.
I think the biggest one, if I'm speaking offensively, is tight end Terrance Ferguson. He had a really good start to the season. He had 4 touchdowns, I think, in the first 3 games, if I'm not wrong there. But he's a really big red zone threat for the offense, and I just think that there's so many things that this team can do once they get inside the 20s, and they've kind of struggled a little bit in that sense. I know some of that's play calling, some of that's penalties that we've seen in the past few weeks, but Bo Nix and Terrance Ferguson have really kind of developed a relationship, I feel, and that's someone that I could see going off if Oregon is to have a good game.
I think for UCLA fans, you need to sit down with what I'm about to say. The surprise under the radar impact is going to come on defense. I know that's, heresy in UCLA land for the last 4 years. But I think you're going to see a couple of guys. John Vaughns, the linebacker, who misses spring camp every year because he's a high-end outfielder on the baseball team. He's had a really good season so far. And I think you look at a guy like Mo Osling III, who's having a really good season at safety. I think that those 2 guys, if you can put pressure on Nix from the outside, from a John Vaughns or from either one of the Murphy twins, and get any pressure to flush him out, I think you're going to have a higher chance of success. Don't let him, he's a mobile quarterback, but it's a matter of how he uses that mobility. If he's using it because he's being flushed out of the pocket versus, it's a design play, it's a designed rollout, it's a huge difference. So I actually think the difference makers on the UCLA team for Saturday will come from the defensive side of the ball.
All right, we've got one of the more important games for UCLA going back to when? When would you fill in the blank for that one, Tony, in regards to when was the last time UCLA played this important of a football game?
You know what? It's been a while. Look, they haven't won, and of course they don't play Oregon every year, and so they certainly don't play at Autzen every other year. Factor that in, they haven't won at Autzen since 2004. It's been a long time, and I think part of what makes this game bigger, look, there have been other times when UCLA started 7-0. I think it was 2001, 2000, somewhere around there. Drew Olson, a team. What makes this different is the lack of the divisional play for the conference championship game, right? Because you don't have to worry about, well, Utah did this and SC is doing this, and where do we fit in with this? You finish top 2, period, and you're playing for the conference championship. And so it really, it really changes your outlook. You win this game. If you're UCLA, you're 7-0, you're in the driver's seat. You're in the number 1 spot with a little tiny bit of margin for error if it's there, as opposed to we lost to a divisional rival and now we're done. You've got the SC game coming up and you've got some other big games coming up. But, I think that this is as big as UCLA has played in terms of importance of the game in a lot of years. Chip Kelly, of course, today meeting with the media was just talking about they just treat it like, it's business as usual. You know how Chip is. We joke about this. They're just trying to have a great Monday, and they don't worry about all this other stuff. And tomorrow they'll just be trying to have a great Tuesday. But it's a bigger deal, and the players know it. And I think the difference this year is it's a veteran team, and so they know how to handle it better than past teams.